gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house.
And we're live. Oh wow.
We're always live to each other.
I guess so, actually.
There was that one time. Welcome to Bunny Ears.
Hey, welcome, jerks.
I'm Matt Cohen, joined as always by your illustrious host,
Rory Culkin.
again.
Taylor Thomas.
Rory. Oh, what a twist!
I know.
I didn't see that one coming.
I know. He actually. Funny story. He sent me an email today.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
JTT. He did. I have not read it yet, but I know it's sent.
What do you think it could be?
I don't know.
You think he wants to get the band back together?
I do. I think so. I think he wants to get back to therapy, like our old group sessions.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So little treat for our listeners.
Maybe he's trying to get on the podcast. Probably not.
Yeah. I doubt it. I doubt it. I would. I don't want to be on this podcast.
Hey, man, me and the Warren are well aware of that.
Yeah.
Mac, we did a thing. Sorry, I'm a little allergied out tonight, Warren. We did a thing last month that was pretty cool and crazy and weird, and I guess the best way to talk about it is how it came about. For me, at least, it was like 1 a.m. on like a Thursday night, and you texted me and you were like, "Hey, are you around?" And I was like, "Yeah," and then you called me, which is always scary. It's always scary when people, your friends you're friends with, who usually you have a text-only relationship, suddenly you see their number calling you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, death or I fucked up big time.
1 a.m. 1 a.m. phone call.
Exactly. But you called me at 1 a.m. and this one was a cool one. You said, "Hey, there's a music festival in Berlin in a few weeks, and they want us to podcast there. Do you want to go?" Not much more detail than that.
Yeah, because it had just come up, on my end as well. So
Yeah.
I didn't really know much about it other than just the people who were running it and a couple of the, I'm friends with a lot of the people that were acts there.
And you keep saying the key word, and maybe it was a good thing they named the festival that because it keeps coming up a lot. It was the People Festival in Berlin.
The People Festival.
So believe it or not, Mac and I hopped on a plane first to Paris for a little bit, and then we headed to Berlin to what was like a really cool and special and unique sort of thing called the People Festival. Mac, how would you describe the general idea of what we were involved with?
I think what it was they got a bunch of people from different kind of like influences and different skill sets and all that kind of stuff, and they had them kind of all get together, and everyone played with each other.
Musicians.
Yeah, musicians. Yeah. We were the weird non-musicians
well, though
there.
not limited, and we'll hear it in the next couple of weeks. Because Warren, basically, the next 2 weeks on the show is we're gonna air some of the stuff we recorded out in Berlin at the Funk House.
Yeah, as the Funk House,
and we'll touch on it on the show a little bit. But yeah, so basically, Tom and Nadine, who you'll hear later in this episode.
Yeah, they were there. They run this hotel called the Michelberger.
The Michelberger.
The Michelberger hotel.
However you want to pronounce it.
They also run the festival. And so it's one of those things where people kind of float from they spend a whole week, everyone kind of collaborating with each other and
coming up with the music. Yeah.
And then if you attended the festival, you kind of float into any room that you wanted and just check out these people recording their stuff. It was really, really cool. And like I said, that it was almost like band camp. It really, really was.
Yeah, it was unique in the sense that a lot of the people you hear on the show and a lot of people who are there are in some really big bands, but they weren't listed as their band name. So it was about 100 or so individual musicians and filmmakers and editors and us for some reason.
Engineers too.
Yeah, totally. And they brought them out to Berlin, and for a full week, we all had access to this place called the Funk House, which is one of the world's largest recording studios, and you'll hear a little bit about it over the next few weeks. And basically, the music that was played at the People Festival didn't exist a week beforehand.
Yeah, it was pretty much it was almost all exclusively stuff that was made up on the spot, or at least, during the course of the week.
So while these incredible musicians were collaborating in one of the world's most iconic music spaces and creating brand new music, every once in a while we'd annoy them. And you're gonna hear some of those.
Go grab them. Yeah.
Some of these folks you might know, some of these folks you might never heard of. And our goal was just have cool conversations with cool people.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is.
And that's what we'll be doing for the next couple weeks. So who are we starting off with?
We're starting off with it was actually the first person we actually did interview was Zack Condon. So I hope you guys like the band Beirut, because they are really, really fantastic.
Or the country.
Yes, yes. You know,
Is that a country?
Yep. No, it's a city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In what country?
Lebanon.
Lebanon. Ooh, good. Look at you.
Look at me. I know.
Quick test.
I know my geography.
But
yeah, really, really fantastic. And like, yes, it's. I personally have a crush on him. You know, yeah. But I know my special lady friend. She does too.
I think the Warren will be able to tell you have a crush on him once they hear our interview.
Goodness, I know. I haven't even heard it yet. Like, yeah. But I crush on him hard.
So this is Zack Condon from Beirut, and we'll be back after Zack to tell you a little bit about the next folk.
All right, cool.
We roll in Colky, so at your will, sir.
Hello.
There you go, buddy.
Nardwar.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, welcome back to Bunny Ears once again.
Where are we, Mac?
We are in Berlin.
Why did that happen?
We're here for the People Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
It's a festival for people.
And we're here with a person.
And we're here with
so
a person.
That works out.
We're here with a person. So, yeah, it's a music festival. So, we're here with Mr. Zack Condon right here. Say hello.
Hello.
Nice.
You did it.
Nice, yeah.
Very
all
good,
right.
man. You're already a professional podcaster.
Does that work as a sound check, too?
All right, so
Yeah,
thanks
brother.
for coming.
Thanks for coming to our podcast festival. What brings you to Berlin? You're obviously a musician. You're from the band Beirut. Everyone knows that, of course. Have you hung here a lot before in Berlin? Like,
I live here now.
get the fuck out of here. You do?
Really?
Yeah. I've been here the last year and a half.
From where?
I was in New York and Istanbul for the last, off and on for the last 5. I was in New York for 12 years total.
Okay.
And I came here, like I said, a year and a half ago. After a very interesting couple of years. So.
In Istanbul?
Well, yeah, and New York. It was like 6 months there, 6 months in New York type thing.
How'd you find yourself out here?
I don't.
Personal question?
Well, not that bad. What's funny is Berlin was never really on my radar in the sense of, like, I always loved coming here, but I never really walked in and said, oh, I'm definitely going to move here one day, for example. It really was the kind of place where I started coming more often, meeting people, working with people, and it just got to this point, too, where I said, I feel better here. I like what's going on here more.
Yeah, it's a great scene. The art is great. The music's great.
Yeah. And I don't want to get down on New York too much, but it did feel like a lot of like this cultural vacuum was starting to happen as well.
Gentrification of all of the cool parts. Like, this is my first time in Berlin, and I describe it as like you take the East Village and make it an entire city, but East Village circa like 98 when it was cool or something.
Sure.
And they weren't all boba places.
But with a richer history.
Yeah, but it's trippy, man. It feels like a new city in the sense that like people are just, every warehouse is like some crazy art studio or performance space or like a beach thing. Like,
yeah, the beaches, right? That's new.
The new fake beaches on the river.
Yeah, we took the boat over here. And it's like just these little beaches.
I haven't gotten to do that yet. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like everywhere I go, I'm usually about 5 to 10 years too late anyway. and then I always feel guilty, like I'm part of the gentrification process.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I hope I contribute enough
Greenland,
to be...
dude.
Yeah.
Greenland. You could be the first one.
Yeah, a pioneer.
Me and a friend were talking about Uzbekistan the other day. So
Yeah, that sounds nice and comfy.
So you're on home base right now, as opposed to the rest of us. So like, what is this kind of festival? Because it's a weird festival, and again, it's not weird in the sense that horrible, strange things are happening. It's weird in the sense that like it's not necessarily full bands. It's a lot of like individual musicians collaborating and like making up new music in the course of a week, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
I am not a big collaborator. I never have been. So I was super nervous coming in, actually. This happened a couple years ago, as you know.
Yeah, this is the second.
Yeah,
People
the
Fest.
first one's in 16. Yeah.
Right, and I was invited, but I hesitated, and in the last minute I didn't do it. But obviously I have absolutely no excuse this year, being here in Berlin. But it's so funny because everything about it is everything that is so unnatural for me as a musician. I've always been the type to kind of sequester myself in a dark room and, really, really focus on something until I have it perfect before presenting it to anyone. So
Has this been like liberating or just still scary? Yeah.
I find myself not thinking.
Good.
That's good. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
It almost
Yeah.
sounds like shock therapy. Like when people are afraid of like swimming, they just throw them in a pool and they're like, get over it, right? You're afraid of collaborating.
Yeah, and Matt's really good at not thinking.
Yeah,
so,
the best. That's my one talent. That's my musical ability is not thinking. No, but it's got to be to immediately be forced to kind of like, here's hundreds of new people that want to talk to me and possibly play with me and stuff like that, right?
I don't know if you guys were here the first day, but I hear it's like a bunch of lost children wandering the halls of Funkhouse.
Yeah. Like, somebody please
And,
adopt me. Yeah.
Yeah, and essentially the first day I came, I was a day late, but I felt like an unemployed musician looking for work, like knocking on doors.
Yeah, there's like the sign-up board. And
Yeah.
everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But it seems like you've put together something, or you have something in mind.
Something clicked, and now I'm just on autopilot, and that's why I say I'm not thinking.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is good for me. When I tend to think, things tend to go wrong. So. Yeah.
Do you think? So you said it's the non-thinking thing. Is your process kind of an? It's like a channeling thing. Like when you're at your best musically, do you feel like you're turned off in terms of thinking about the stuff and it's just flowing?
Or do you find yourself overthinking?
No, actually, the channeling thing is perfectly right.
Yeah.
When I'm overthinking, nothing is happening.
Yeah, there you go.
When I'm purely if you go into a bit of a trance-like state, you know you're doing it right, so to speak. And you get this big picture almost immediately, and you know to follow that.
And you lose time.
You lose time.
Yeah, you just blink,
and you
all
wind
of
up with a
sudden,
thing
yeah,
at the
like
end
days
of it,
gone
right?
by.
Yeah. It's like a hangover, but the only way to trace it back is the song you came up with or something. You know what I mean? And you don't have to go to like Thailand to get it or whatever. We always like to ask guests on this show a very important question: would you fight a wizard?
Yeah, like in fisticuffs.
And like this wizard's not a nice guy.
Yeah, no,
Someone's gonna have to fight him.
he's
you?
asking for it.
Yeah.
Are you asking me if I would be the guy in the village to try my hand at the wizard fight? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. You can ask any questions you want, though. I mean, like what kind of wizard, or
You don't know what his powers are.
Yeah,
He might be like old and feeble.
Yeah.
But I just know the answer, which is I wouldn't be anywhere near this fight.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. Just see a wizard just kind of walk the other way.
Yeah.
It's a solid answer, man.
Yeah.
So you found it out. He lives in Berlin. He doesn't like collaborating, and he will not fight a wizard. So, sorry to burst your bubble, fans. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm a huge fan
cheers.
of what you do, for real. So when I saw you on the bill, I was very, very excited. I wanted to sit down with you even for just a couple minutes.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll
Man,
let you
thanks.
go do build your soundscapes over there, and yeah, man.
I thought I heard an accordion. Is that you guys?
I didn't bring an accordion.
I'm hearing people like sound checking.
Do you want us to find you an accordion? Because I bet there's one around.
Why not? Obviously, I love accordions.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Can we put a call into Weird Al to like get him here really quickly? I mean, that would lighten up this festival a little bit, right? Yeah. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking
Cheers.
with us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And that was Mr. Zack Condon.
Yeah. Still have a crush on him.
From Beirut. Oh, talking to him didn't ruin your crush?
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? Like he's fantastic. I give my left nut for his voice.
It was cool when we were like, hey, man, have you ever been to Berlin before? And he's like, yeah, I live here.
Yeah, I live here, man.
I would like that if we see him, like, for some reason, let's say we're traveling in Jakarta.
Yeah,
And we run into Zack Condon, and we're like, what are you doing here, man? He's like,
I
yo,
live here
I've
now.
lived in Jakarta for 6 months. What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
So that was Zach. Next up is a cool gal who we got to know over the course of the festival.
She was like almost everyone's like favorite person like during the whole fest.
She was described as a multi-instrumentalist, and I didn't know what that meant at the beginning of the festival. And what I came to learn it to mean was that they were just really good at everything, basically.
Yes. That's what a multi-instrumentalist is.
There you go.
Yeah.
And she is one of those. And we're going to talk to her about
and she's
Gatorade.
charming as fuck and everything like that. So her name is Angel Deradoorian. I'm pretty sure.
Deradoorian.
Deradoorian. Don't worry. We go over this during the course of the interview.
We'll correct ourselves in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And Angel was super cool. And actually, Mac, we also recorded a show in front of an audience, and one day we might release it as like a special mini-sode type deal. And
the sound was all off, but
the sound's a little off. People were having fun. Angel was actually on that too. So, so she popped up a few times over the weekend.
She's charming as fuck.
Angel's super cool. So without much further ado,
Angel Deradoorian.
Deradoorian. Daria. Na. We is recording.
All right, cool. I was just calling Matt a jack fool just now.
It happens.
Welcome back.
We were discussing bees and not drinking them because there are a lot of bees here in Berlin.
Yes, yeah. Just in Berlin, yeah. It's funny if you actually took Berlin just for like what it is on this trip. It's like, oh, there's a lot of musicians and a lot of bees, and like that would be your whole impression of Berlin.
Yeah.
So anyway,
is that not true?
I don't know. Let's go
That's
exploring.
the Sandals Resort version of this experience because we only get shipped to and from this one place here. So we're
That
having
has
a very,
bees.
very condensed experience.
Totally. Who is this mystery voice we hear on the Bunny Ears program, Macaulay?
Angel Deradoorian.
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 Oh, you son of a
No,
bitch.
it's pretty good though.
Okay, yeah.
We're
I mean,
sorry.
it's a lot
You
of
should hear the
syllables.
telemarketers.
Have you been? You've obviously been dealing with this your whole life, right?
Yeah.
What is the worst anyone's ever mangled your name? Because he gets that.
I get like
Yeah.
Macaulay Clucklin, like things like that. Yeah.
McClarky
Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin. Oh God, the worst. I mean, how many people have made up different versions to make fun of me my entire life, and then the worst one probably was, I don't know, just like totally not letters in it.
Yeah.
Adina Denzele. What is it with John Travolta?
Yeah. I know. I keep on thinking DeLorean. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
people think DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody recently said something called Deradoorian, which is close
Sounds
to
like a
my
Star Wars.
I
it's-
kind of like that.
They're like,
Deradoorian.
I hope that they wrote on Twitter like, I hope that originates from Deradoorian, and I was like, it's just straight up my name.
Yeah.
But also, my Instagram name is Deradoom, so I was surprised.
So I guess
to-
you're asking for it.
Yeah, I was asking.
It's almost
for
got
it.
a Lord of the Ring-ish quality to it, like the
yes.
Uruk-hai and the Daradoon.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one thing I like about fantasy shows like Game of Thrones or whatever, is that they always have like an IAN character, like Targaryens.
You can fit in, yeah.
There's a book with a character named like Severian, and I'm always like, yes, fine, I found my place.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's where I belong.
Yeah, I do. I do belong there.
Speaking
really.
of your place, where do you usually call home?
right now, New York.
Right on.
Yes.
And we are here in Berlin, Germany, which is a bit of a ways from New York. How's your trip been so far? This whole crazy thing.
It's been wonderful, although I kind of got sick immediately.
Really?
Oh goodness.
I don't think I'm sick. I don't know.
Was it the
Yeah.
currywurst? Was it the schnitzel?
It was the schnitzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Schnitzel.
It's always the schnitzel.
Too much schnitz.
It was like probably 8 cigarettes immediately, and then like 8 glasses of wine to accompany that. Because I was like, yeah, let's have fun. And I can't even have fun for one night.
Yeah, fun isn't as fun as it's cracked up to be a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just like sitting places for the most part.
Yeah. We're the Stairway Boys.
Low
Yeah.
stakes. Yeah, we're the Stairway Boys.
So, what are you doing here? Like what kind of stuff are you doing?
I am. Well, I'm a multi-instrumentalist, but I brought no gear. So I was like, if they have anything, I'll play it. But mostly I'll just probably sing this time. And I'm attempting to lead something called the Chaos Orchestra, which will be some weird pulsy drone music with blasts of chaotic like horns.
That's awesome.
And then back into, so that's one thing I'm doing. I do a lot of drone music. And then on the flip side, I just do like a lot of singing stuff that I can sing in many ways. So getting up on some tracks, gonna get up on one with
jumping in everyone's rooms and stuff.
yeah, I jumped in with Harmar the other day and we sang a song about Mr. Gatorade.
Mike Gatorade.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Gatorade's really getting around right now.
Yeah, and it's fun because he was actually walking with you, and he saw me doing yoga, but didn't realize it. And then he made up this character based on this thing of drinks near the yoga session.
The Michael Gatorade.
The irony.
You're one of the electrolytes.
I am. Michael Gatorade and the electrolytes? Ooh.
Yeah, is that
I
good?
think
right?
you just fully manifested that character.
The twisted irony of this all is that I've been spending the last 10 days in Europe desperately looking for Gatorade, and it does not exist. It's
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was like tweeting out kind of like, hey, where can I find Gatorade in Paris?
not a thing. I've traveled around the world.
They've
and
outlawed it.
I've only found Gatorade in America and Thailand, and when I found that Gatorade in Thailand, it was the greatest moment of my entire life.
What's your backup?
Nothing. Water. I just don't get electrolytes otherwise. I've been like
coconut. Get Essentia or like
a coconut water. Yeah, I should really start. Everyone's drinking coconut water. Here's the thing: everyone's so healthy and like cool and like artsy at this fest. And like Warren, you know me. I'm like a fucking
neurotic
stoner Jew.
Yeah,
So,
you're like Woody Allen with less charm.
Neurotic stoner.
So everyone is just like fucking calming me down, and I'm being like, you know what? Maybe I can drink coconut when in Berlin with artists. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
yeah.
That's part of the song with Harmar is that we start talking. I was like, Gatorade's outdated. I drink coconut water now, and like that new age shit, I need it up in my life.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the newest thing is, I know this isn't that interesting.
Please.
Watermelon water. And they
Is
are
that a
selling
thing?
it at high prices.
I've tried it at Whole Foods has it, right? Or like
Yes.
even, it's not great. I love watermelon too, but like I can't get. For some reason, I want a watermelon water to just be watermelon juice with no
Right.
water in it, and I'm always disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my fault though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rind flavor in it, is what I got.
Yeah, I've never liked watermelon flavor. I love water, but yeah, there's
love
something
watermelon.
kind of almost artificial about it. Even if it's not artificial,
Definitely.
it kind of feels.
Yes.
It has a foreign kind of
It's
quality.
too sweet.
I think
Yeah.
you can really judge a fruit's flavor by a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Good
Good call.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're wait though. If that logic
That's
were
really
true,
I love how that's the baseline.
Yeah.
like-
if
That's
that
a very accurate peach flavor at the Jolly Rancher collection.
Have you ever bitten an apple? But here's the one
Have you ever
flaw to
bitten
that. Have you ever bitten? Hey, have you ever bitten an apple in general? And if you or if you were radioactive, it turned into Apple Man. No, the green apple Jolly Rancher is my favorite Jolly Rancher. There is no flavor in nature that tastes like that. It's like artificial poison sour.
You know what, though? I have had an apple that tastes just like that apple Jolly Rancher. And I flipped out. My brother made this apple pie. And I took a bite and I was like, it tastes just like Jolly Ranchers.
And guess what? It's a Jolly Rancher pie.
Yeah.
Will you give me your brother's details so I can get
I
that pie
sure will.
going? Yeah,
He's a master pie maker
If he could do
through
any-
the Stony Armenian
Yeah, totally.
legacy of Stony people.
If he could do anything with a blue raspberry push pop, I'm fucking in too. If he could do like a
Whoa.
meringue or something.
Wow, push pops. Remember ring pops?
Fuck yeah.
Remember our candy was way cooler.
Oh my God,
like,
yes.
Our
They-
candy was tight.
They have the baby bottle thing, which is like, have you tried that ever? Like their version of the ring pop is that baby bottle with like the sugar in it that you dip in like a pacifier.
It's not
goodness.
okay.
That-
Also,
that
what
sounds
is
like-
that?
That sounds like no, I don't go to raves. Like that's such a rave thing to do.
But also, I feel like that's like for kids who have like have a complex about like
They're binky.
thumb sucking
Sure,
or like
yeah.
didn't grow out of that, and it's really enabling them to stay in that mentality as
Like absolutely
older
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
The problem with ring pops was that while they were delicious, they always got your fucking finger disgusting with like ring pop juice. Are we all agreed on that? I've never had a dry finger ring pop experience.
I think you just have to be really delicate with it.
Maybe I was just going to town.
Maybe,
on
maybe,
that.
maybe you just quit drooling on it, bro.
Yeah, I was more into like the dip. Like
fun,
the dip.
Fun dip.
Fun dip.
Like the dipsticks.
Actually, the best thing was Big League Chew.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like
Sacks of gum.
you just like grab a handful of shredded gum and shove it in your face.
Speaking of
huge
training,
bubbles.
yeah, that was training for tobacco, for chewing tobacco. Now that I think about it, the
Yeah.
Big League
It
Chew was
totally
like
was.
chewing tobacco for little kids.
I used to love Gatorade gum. They don't do that anymore. But there was
Gatorade
actually a
gum?
Gatorade gum.
You should do
know.
a song. Mike Gatorade should talk about that in his
Like
Wow.
song.
Gatorade gum.
Yeah.
Or give out gum to everyone.
Wow. Gnarly.
Yeah.
So, is this experience what you thought it would be? Because it's kind of like a crazy, not really been done before kind of endeavor. I mean, they had one of these before People Festival, but outside of this, the whole like come here,
Collaboration.
collaborate, make new music, play it a week later. Like, has it been everything you thought it would be, or?
It's actually exceeded my expectations, definitely. I've done some residencies. I work for the Red Bull Academy as well, so it's a similar kind of setup, but very different. Way more people and way more players, like musician players. So everybody has been incredible, like mind blowing, and everyone can just jump in super easily and play. And I was like blown away by that.
Yeah, it's a crazy cross section of just like strings and horns,
Dancers
guitarists, yeah.
and
yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
like, although I heard there's almost like a lack of drummers. Like drummers are in high demand over here.
No joke, Mac. I think those
That's
guys
always-
at that table are podcasting, and I got real like territorial before. I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought we were the podcasters.
Drummers are always in high demand. It just like doesn't forever and ever.
Well, the great thing about drummers, they love drumming.
I know.
Yeah, so it's great. Like,
They're so into it.
whereas bassists just cry themselves to sleep every night.
Yep, pretty much.
I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, I think after being in bands for so long, the instruments really do fit a personality type.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like drummers the most.
Yeah.
And then I'll find out later they're a drummer, and I was like, what is it about them? I think it's just their like stature.
yeah.
They're usually just kind of like
Upright. Yeah.
they have
They're usually a little more outgoing, boisterous.
yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
bass players are kind of like hiding in the corner.
Yeah, very internal. You know,
Very mysterious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They-
Four
they-
strings only.
We hate bass players
They'd
on
be
this
like,
show.
yeah, they play with their back to the audience if they could. You know, kind of,
Or in another remote in another location.
yeah, exactly.
Pipe,
All
it-
like
pipe in the
Stu
bass.
Sutcliffe, you know.
Yeah. Totally. Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
Rad.
jumping on.
And we're
No
gonna think of
problem.
a mnemonic device to remember your last name.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
do you have one?
Yeah. Let me think.
It's Deradoorian. Right?
I mean, I think
Deradoorian.
DeLorean's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
There
Like
you
I
go, nailed it.
Like
There
I
you go.
dare you to door you.
just know that there's an in the middle of it. I don't know.
We'll write it out for everyone.
Yeah. So you might remember it because. Never mind.
No,
now
no,
you
no,
have
no,
to.
no,
No, I don't want that to be recorded.
Okay, I stopped recording. What did you say?
So what was that?
No, I don't want to say it.
You tell us off the
Yeah,
air.
I'll-
Sorry, Warren. You have to come to
It's-
Berlin to find this one out.
Yes, it's too stupid.
All right. Well, thanks for
Thank
being
you so
stupid
much.
with us.
Yeah.
Yes, no
Yeah.
problem.
Wasn't that special?
She was a real angel.
She
Get it?
She get it because that's her name.
Her parents were futurists,
Yes,
and they deserve to be burned for that power.
Miss DeLorean.
Really fun.
Yeah. No, she's charming as
Next
shit.
up, we got a conversation with a gentleman who had you met him before? No,
I had not, but I called a bingo game.
Bango.
The night before. Another kind of guy who was like a lot of people's favorite. Like just hanging out during the band camp, like stuff.
You guys were fast friends. Well, that was the thing. A lot of these people we had either Mac had met a few before, we'd met a couple over the course of the weekend. Some of the people who we talked to on these episodes literally just walked up to us and we hadn't even seen before. Mm-hmm. And Rasmus was a dude who you played bingo with, and then you were like, "We're doing."
Yeah, we're gonna grab.
Rasmus is coming over.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Rasmus is he's from Denmark, which is a magical fairy tale land that we only dream of in here in the States.
Oh yes. It's only that place on a map.
But it's far-ish.
Yes. Yeah.
And we have a fun conversation with him about the cool stuff he does over there, and a lot just about like the geography of Denmark.
Yeah. He's a rad human being.
Copenhagen
Like,
and Copenhagen in general.
Rasmus Stolberg. I think?
Stolberg.
Stolberg.
He might say it on the thing.
Yeah, he'll definitely
How
say
many
his name.
Rasmuses have you ever met?
Yeah, it's true.
Just look it up.
It's true. He's my soul Rasmus.
He's probably the only Rasmus there is.
Yeah.
And he's the only Rasmus for us.
Ooh.
Take it away, Rasmus, and us, I guess. Matt and Mac.
Take it away,
us.
Oh, and we're back. We're live.
We're back
And we're
again.
back. All right.
How long has it been? Theater of the mind. Only a few minutes.
It's
right?
it's been
It
moments.
certainly hasn't been 24 hours, and we're
No.
all wearing different clothing.
No, of course not. Of course not.
No, and you'll never know, Warren.
So we're back at the Papal Festival.
Who we
in
with?
Berlin.
Who we with?
Who we with? Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Rasmus Stolberg.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, first off, you win the name contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
'Cause my name is Matt, which is, his name is Macaulay, which is a fake name, and your name is fucking Rasmus.
Yeah.
Rasmus, you got it. Yeah.
That's great, dude.
Love it.
Is there a meaning for Rasmus?
Not really. I looked it up once, and it means somebody who is easy to love.
Oh.
That's a meaning.
But I
Yeah.
think it was a fake list I was looking at.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, it's a nice one.
They're all, I'm sure it's in one of those like book names where
Yeah.
all of them are flattering.
It
kind
could
of
be
thing.
worse.
Yeah.
Imagine your name is like Derek, and you look up the meaning of. Oh, someone's okay.
Someone just almost
people
ate shit
festival.
It's
on
a violent chess game.
I was getting back to the point. Imagine if your name was Derek and you looked up what the name Derek meant, and it said like likely to die of cancer at the age of 50.
Yeah,
You'd be like, oh fuck, why did my parents do this to me? What nationality?
You're from Denmark, right?
That's true.
Wow.
I'm from Copenhagen.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I know one thing about it, and that's Christiania, because I'm a
Yeah.
stereotypical stoner.
Well, it's a great place. It's a great idea. I mean, they have their challenges. It's been going for more than 40 years now.
Yeah.
So, it's not really free anymore.
What is this?
It's a free town.
Yeah, Freetown in the middle of Copenhagen. There's a how would you? Because you're probably better
Yeah,
off
well,
describing
it
it
was
than me.
a big former military Navy area
Yeah.
that was abandoned, and it was squatted more than 40 years ago. And they had all these ideas about how to, build a different kind of society.
Like a commune kind
Yeah.
of thing.
It's like
yeah.
Burning Man,
But
the
it's-
city, but
it's kind of huge. And one thing they started doing was legalizing weed.
soft drugs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hard drugs are not allowed, guns are not allowed. It's hippies.
Yeah.
And for years and for years, the police and the authorities sort of just let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And for many years, you could just go in and you could buy weed the main street in Christiania is called Pusher Street.
Well, there you go. That's
And
Freetown.
And right now, in the last 10 years, it's been going a lot back and forth because it's not really run by the hippies anymore. It's run by Hells Angels, and it's getting violent. And then we have some right-wing governments who they really don't like the idea of this place. But they also don't know what to do because for like 2 decades, it's been in the top 3
It's the number tourist attraction.
attraction.
Yeah.
It's
So
like a little
it's where to
Amsterdam in
go.
the middle of Copenhagen.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I've never been. I've met a lot of Danish people, and they're always pushing Copenhagen on me, and it looks gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous city. It's
Is that what you still call home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you said you run a radio station out there, right?
I do. It's called The Lake Radio.
The lake. Does it mean the lake?
Yeah, a lake you can swim in. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you speak Danish.
But, a little.
I mean,
what kind of stuff do you like play?
It's like well, some people will call it like contemporary art, but it's not really. It's just we're trying to mix. We're trying to give up on the idea of
it's not just a rock station.
Actuality, and genre. So it's one big giant mess of
good taste.
music from all ages of the recorded music history, and it's music of all cultures also.
Oh, cool.
And it's of all genres. But it does have a vibe. It's kind of chilled out and weird.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
it's all about taste, really.
You're not playing Cardi B?
We're not playing Cardi B, but I mean, you guys love Cardi B?
No.
Or whatever.
If you put her through like, I don't know, into a big echo chamber and did something, put a weird John Zorn
just had her
saxophone on
doing
top
for
of it,
you, yeah.
then we would play it.
All right, there you go. So what are you doing here at the
what
fest?
brings you here, man?
I'm here with my 2 bands. I'm in a band called Afterklang, and I'm in a band called Liima. That's like the city in Peru, but 2 eyes.
Okay. And what kind of bands?
It means glue in Finnish. But anyways, well,
you have a Finnish bandmate.
we have a Finnish bandmate.
Yeah.
You need one, man. Come on.
Yeah, every band needs a Finn.
They're really great. It's one band, Afterklang, is we kind of do like orchestral, progressive, electronic, experimental rock music.
Yeah. Cool.
We've been going for many years, so it's every record is different, but it's very often orchestral.
It's got to be great when you describe your art form and you yourself get confused when you're telling it. You're like, it's this thing, maybe?
Yeah.
I know this thing.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I'm a rapper.
No, I wish sometimes. But Liima is a bit easier. Actually.
Okay.
That's more like there's like 4 dudes jamming out. It's almost like garage rock, but we don't have guitars. We have synths and we have
cool.
beats, and I play the bass in that too, and we have vocals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. We had a fun time last night.
Yeah.
Bongo.
Ras introduced bongo to the group. Yes. So him and I we hosted a large bongo group.
Describe what bongo is.
It's like bingo except bongo. It's only 3 lines to the whole thing, and you get like once you fill up 1 line, you get some prizes, and second line, once you fill up your whole card, you're the big winner.
Yeah.
Who was it? What was his name?
I can't remember his last name, but his first name is
Christoph. Yeah.
Fanda something, I think.
Yeah.
He won a hand massage by Erland Øye of Kings of Convenience.
Nice.
Very good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was
doing
a lot
that
of fun.
together.
That was Ras's idea. Yeah, I just jumped on the trolley. That was a lot of fun.
I really,
put it together.
you've been here the whole week too. Everything is about music, or eating something, or drinking something.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
And I just felt we needed to do something together that was not about that.
Nice, man.
No, exactly. It was a team building exercise.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, no, and a lot of people come up.
We should also say, Mac, you did an imprumtu stand-up set the other night.
yes, I did that too.
I missed that.
Oh yeah.
That I wish we were filming, but yeah.
Because I asked them to turn down the music in the front because Harmar and Angel were going to play something, and then they just didn't. So the mics were still hot and the music was down. So I just started doing. Wow. It was like NPR. Like I was talking like this the whole time and just telling terrible dad jokes.
We had a very funny German cab driver on the way here, and I say he was very funny because he's the funniest German we've met.
Yeah, he was definitely the funniest German.
In comparison,
they're pretty humorless, I would say.
Do you record your conversations with taxi drivers? That's the thing we do in my radio station.
Really? Oh no,
we
haven't even thought of that. We need fucking.
It's great. Some of the best pieces we have in our radio is just us talking with taxi drivers.
That's a great idea.
And it's always in Berlin you get the most crazy ones.
Yeah.
And do you come to Berlin a lot?
I do, yeah.
Do you love it?
Yeah. Oh, I waited too long with that answer.
Yeah, I know.
I do love it.
You just got kicked out.
I mean, but it's. I had friends who lived here for many, many years. So when you ask them, it's always like, would I want to live here? And that I wouldn't. But if I don't think about it like that, yes, I do truly love this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange. I'm finding my footing a little bit as we go. We've been here for like almost a week, but like you say Copenhagen, and I'm like, yeah, I'm there on the next plane. It seems magical. And this place, it seems like you have to work at it a little bit and kind of get an insider guide to so it's not so touristy.
Gateway personality.
Yes and no. Copenhagen, because it's such a small city and because we speak a really weird language, it can be really difficult to get in and be part of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually Danish people, we only hang out with people we went to school with or who we work with or who is married to our sister.
Sure.
And
It's very specific.
Yeah, it can be tough. And Berlin is so big, it has an international scene.
You get everything, yeah.
And when you have an international scene, it means a lot of people are here
Transplants.
just recently.
Yeah.
And they are open. They are looking for people. They're looking for friends. They're looking for projects.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's much easier to be here.
Yeah,
and I
it's
guess
more inclusive.
And I guess we take that for granted as Americans, the kind of like melting pot that we are in every day. Of every time we walk on the street, we see people from every country on the planet. And I guess in a place like Copenhagen, there's a lot of Danish people, right?
Yeah.
And it could feel the same sometimes.
Who knew? So many Danish people in Denmark.
All of the Skarsgårds are there, right? Let's name them. Stellan,
They're
Alexander,
fucking Swedish, but let's do it
Schmecky.
anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Are they Swedish?
Yeah.
God
We have
damn it.
one of our famous guys is Mads Mikkelsen.
Okay, I love Mads Mikkelsen
Yeah.
from
He's in James Bond. and
Hannibal.
Hannibal, that's
He's
him.
great, man.
Yeah.
And then isn't Lars von Trier Danish?
He's Danish.
Maybe that's why I thought Stellan Skarsgård was.
Yeah,
'cause
but
he worked
because
with him.
he's in those movies a lot, that's true.
Yeah, he's also a crazy person, though.
Yeah.
Lars von Trier.
He is. Yeah, he's pretty nuts. And then
Pulling his
there
pants
is.
down. You know.
Said some things at Con a few years ago I don't necessarily agree
yeah,
with.
yeah, don't really want to repeat. You know?
Well, I wouldn't mind doing it actually, because, I mean, he didn't. He was totally.
of course
I
he was
mean,
joking.
he was
Okay,
joking.
Obviously, but
And
still.
it's a very Danish way of joking.
Yeah,
and,
gotcha.
And he should not do it.
And you see the American reaction in Kirsten Dunst on that stage, like that.
Yeah.
The way Kirsten Dunst's face looked is the way
Yeah.
the rest of the world felt.
Just like, oh goodness. Look at you.
That's what is your greatest Danish export, if you had to say?
Well, if you ask the government, it's bacon. But
Oh really?
But is it real? Is it arc? Have you been to America?
I have, yeah.
Have you had the bacon in America?
It's probably Danish.
But it's really.
It's probably Danish.
Because I find there's different bacon. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, Mac?
Like in the
they
UK,
don't
it's more
have our
ham-like,
bacon.
you know,
Yeah,
really
if
anywhere
you had
else.
bacon in UK, you had Danish bacon for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bacon's your biggest export.
Also, to China, bacon. All the Danish bacon is crazy. There are
know
more.
that.
There are more pigs in Denmark than people.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I
we have
did not know that.
15 million pigs, and we have 5 million people.
Wow.
and a place called Pusher Street. It
Yeah.
sounds like a cartoon dream.
The pigs are gonna rise up.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy being a pig in Denmark, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So have you gotten to collaborate with anyone this week that you wanted to or haven't played with before? Or
Yeah, I mean, my mind is pretty much blown. I mean, I came in, I was super intimidated by this. I'm not really, I play the bass, but I'm not really fast on my instrument. I usually I need to learn stuff, and I need to do it on my own. And this is something you just can't do when you're thrown in a room here and you have 2 hours to create with people. But I was thrown in a room with Sinkane.
oh wow,
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Ahmed,
yeah,
he's the
Ahmed,
best
he's-
man.
he's
yeah.
great. And there was Nick from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs on guitar, and
Oh,
there
Chris
was
Egan.
Chris Egan on
drummer.
drums.
Oh sure, yeah.
It's just like
Super group.
super people, and I'm there, and I made it.
That's awesome.
I mean,
man.
Yeah, there you go.
I fucking
did
made
it.
it.
You did it.
And we played some more
Proud of
today,
yourself.
and it was great, and I felt on top of it. And
That's awesome,
yeah.
man. Are you excited for the festival this weekend?
Yeah, I'm
for it
excited.
actually coming together.
Yeah,
Did you do the last one, or is this your first one?
We were in America with Liima the last one, but we missed it.
Ugh,
Yeah.
America.
the worst.
Yeah.
No, it's
Are
gonna
you
be
guys in New York, or where are you based?
Like West Coast.
West Coast.
You know, mostly.
LA,
but
yeah.
New York also a little bit. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm LA, and yeah, we kind of bounce back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? Where have you been?
In America.
Yeah.
Well, I've done
All over?
5 tours all
Oh,
the way
so-
around, full circle.
So you've been to more places in America than I have.
I've been to
guaranteed.
more American cities than most Americans.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
But I'm only there for a day at a time.
sure.
Yeah, no, it's
So
venue and hotel. That's
yeah,
it.
so
yeah,
it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Boise, Idaho for 10
yeah,
hours.
Yeah, like Des Moines. you
I've
know.
been in Boise, Idaho, not to play, but I've been there. I had a very long vacation in Portland, Oregon once. It was,
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was 3 months vacation there.
Oh
It was
wow,
cool.
that's a
Jesus.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got married on. We went to Hawaii for 2 weeks to get married as well while we were
Oh,
there.
there you
It was
go.
a nice time.
That's not so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
I thought-
it's hipster paradise over
Yeah,
there.
it
Like,
is.
you know,
Are you
yeah.
still married?
I am.
Okay, good. Because I thought you were about to tell me the marriage only lasted 3 months.
No, no.
I thought you were like, I went to Portland, I got
Just
married.
Portland.
It didn't work out. That's awesome.
Like a
man.
green card marriage, you know.
Yeah, dude. Well, thanks for coming and chatting with us, man.
Yeah,
If
man.
we ever make it to Denmark, we'll look you up.
Please let me know. I mean,
Yeah.
we could have like a really nice bango event.
Yeah, I was just about to say bingo, bango, bongo.
You know, I mean, there was one time yesterday when Chris, the drummer, came up and did a really nice roll.
Yeah,
and
nice drum roll.
Gita Vultures daughter, she had this. I don't know what the word is. Like it was some kind of explosive thing.
Confetti poppers. Yeah.
And it was. I mean, we could make a show out of this.
I think so. I think. Yeah.
Explosives and bingo.
I'm in for that. Yeah, we'll set up a residency in Copenhagen.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And Skarsgård,
bingo.
fuck off, man. We thought you were Danish.
You guys are from the wrong country.
And there's too many of you. I'll tell you what. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Thanks for
nice
coming
talking
by,
to you.
man. Bye.
Yeah, and we're back.
And
we learned so much about Copenhagen.
Yeah. Like that one district or
Christiania.
Yes, there we go. I forgot the name of it just now.
Freetown. Hey, Warren, let's all go on a trip to Copenhagen together.
Yeah.
On Mack.
I know a guy.
Yeah, we're gonna get a really big boat. It's gonna take off from Long Beach on Tuesday. Be there. We're gonna go old school. It's gonna take us like 4 weeks to make the passage. Most of us will die.
Wow.
I will be in steerage as my people were wont to be.
Jeez.
Matt will be somewhere up top with a martini.
Yes, you know me.
But I think statistically, most of steerage survived the Titanic crash. So, or maybe that's the opposite. Who died? More rich people or more poor people?
I think it was
like
women and children went first in the
okay.
boats, so they had a better chance of surviving.
Hint, Warren, if you're ever taking a boat journey, bring a wig.
Also, don't be in the band.
Yeah,
the band died.
Or be not,
And the captain. Don't be the captain either.
or be not that committed to being in the band. No one was like had a gun to them and was like, "You play till we sink."
No, true.
They were just like, "Well, gentlemen, I'm going out with my viola." So what happened next was really cool. I think someone brought him over. I can't.
No, it was Tom and Nadine, who everyone will get to meet.
We'll hear next.
Right after Alexei. But brought over Alexei, who's a cool dude.
Alexei Casselle, who was in a band called Kill the Vultures.
Yeah, and he came over and just like, I got a poem. I want to read a poem. And we were like, all right, cool, let's do it. Like,
Any other day, someone comes up to me and they're
says,
like, "Yo, I'm gonna read you a poem."
poem.
I can't roadrunner spin my legs fast enough to get away. But the People Festival put me in like a real cool mindset where I was like, "Yeah, let's hear a poem." And guess what? It's really cool. It's like a rap. It's like a deaf poetry type deal.
Some slam poetry.
So here's a poem from Alexei Casselle from a band called Kill the Vultures.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this.
Ooh, yeah, right after the poem.
We is on.
Oh, hello. Oh, we have a special interlude here.
Yeah, we just got a really cool offer, man.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, dude.
Yeah, my name is Alexei Moon Casselle. My artist name is Crescent Moon. I rap with a group called Kill the Vultures, but I'm just here also just as an individual and happy to be a part of the People Festival.
That's awesome, man. Where are you from?
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
There's a lot of fucking
There's
Minneapolis
too
cats
many
here.
motherfuckers in Minneapolis,
All these people
motherfuckers.
you've probably seen before.
Did you know all
Man.
these dudes? Or?
Yeah. Yes.
So we heard you had a poem for us, man.
Yeah. Like before I even got here, I just thought Tom and Nadine have done so much to facilitate this and have incredible experiences. I just wanted to offer something to them. So this is more dedicated to them.
Awesome.
And I just started it like
lay
a
it down
couple
for us.
hours ago. So we'll see what happens. All right, here it goes. At a time when the human connection is a distant light from a distant shore, an age of unified solitude, 7 billion of us isolated, shoulder to shoulder, separated by walls, by rhetoric, by our own personal devices of doubt and discomfort, here we gather, like rainwater in a storm, an orchestra of lightning and laughter, of stillness and motion, as conductors of electricity, of sound, defiantly surrendering to the urgency of now, our hands releasing each dizzy passing moment so that our open palms are ready to catch the next. A funeral for what we previously knew, a celebration of the mystery of a new burning sunrise all at once. Please bathe me in the tumbling tide of creation and decay. Let me stare into the bottomless mouth of your imagination as you look into mine. Swallow me whole like fire and paint the ceiling with my ashes. Throw me in the river. Please float or sink. Promise you will mimic your twisted reflection in the mirror of the endless running water. Promise you will dance to the drum of 1,000 heartbeats and collapse when the drums stop. Promise you will promise nothing beyond your own fertile intuition and rugged instinct. If you hear the gathering call, then gather. Come from wherever you are as you are. gather. With empty hands or heavy arms, gather. Like rainwater in a storm, conductors of lightning, servants of sound, makers of movement, gather as people.
That's dope. Man.
Dude,
I love
that
it.
was fucking awesome.
Thanks, man.
That
That's
was
a lot
great.
of love. That's a lot of love.
And that's super, and it super summed up just the whole energy of the whole thing, man.
Exactly,
Like everyone
yeah.
from all over the world. Most of these people haven't met each other before, and they just dropped all preconceived notions and what they want to do or what they were going to do, and just kind of existed for the past
and
week,
they
right?
gather.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man.
That's
Thanks for
awesome,
having
man.
me
Yeah,
on.
no worries. Tell
Yeah.
people how they can find your music, man.
Yeah, basically just Google "Kill the Vultures" and you'll find our
Awesome.
shit.
Good shit, dude. Thank you so much,
all
man.
Yeah,
right,
man, that was
yeah.
dope.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that was a poem.
Yeah, that was some poet. Hey, would you like to hear a poem? Like,
Hey.
no, it was dope. It was
Yo,
dope.
girl, can
he
I
was
read
a
you a
really
poem?
he's a sweet dude.
He was a nice guy, and they actually were in the room after us during the festival, and I got to hear a little bit of their set. It was really
yeah.
cool. So check them out. Check out all the acts that we.
Yes, that we're talking to, and other
talking-
acts as well.
And if you go to bunnyears.com and check out the annotated guide for this episode, we'll have links to all of the band's
Yeah.
websites and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Fun
super
stuff
cool.
like that.
Super cool.
So taking us out this week, we are gonna have a little chat with the people who created the whole thing.
Yeah, these are actually some old friends of mine. I met them about 8 years ago. Again, they're the ones who run the festival, and the Michelberger.
Their name is on the hotel
It's on the hotel. It's Tom's last name.
and on a lot of
And-
coconut water.
And it's not Michelberger, like the French singer.
Yeah, there was a
for all you
famous-
Francophiles
There's
out
a
there.
famous French singer named Michelberger, and this hotel is called the Michelberger. And they told us what they say when French people come.
They always think. Well, actually, that's a spoiler. Actually,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, that's something we're going to talk
Haley
about.
Joel Osment was dead the whole time.
Oh my gosh! Look, I got a spoiler again.
That's my fanfic. That's not six.
Yeah.
That's not Six
Oh,
Sense.
yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's the Seventh Sense.
that's just just what you wish.
Yeah. He won't come on the show. No, I'm kidding. So
but-
here are the people that put together the
Yeah,
whole
and like
week
I said,
for
old
us,
friends of mine. I've known them for like about 8 years now.
and they're German and,
and they're-
good looking and fit.
yeah, they really are.
Tom wears short shorts.
Always, yeah, they're always wearing white and everything like
They
that. They
are.
look impeccable. Like they're a really charming couple of people and
Yeah.
stuff. So, yeah. So
Without further ado,
yeah, here we go.
Here's Tom and
Here's
Nadine.
Tom and
who put on
Nadine.
the whole thing.
and we're back, or we're here.
We're here.
Yeah, we never left.
So,
Yeah, Berlin at the People Festival, and actually we have some very, very doubly special guests over here. We have Tom and Nadine. Introduce yourselves, actually, like you guys do it.
Oh well, that's me,
Yeah, that's
and
Tom.
I'm
Tom.
and we're sitting on this funny staircase,
Uh-huh.
and light people and sound people running past,
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting very close.
Yes, I know,
Absolutely.
I know. Because this is your guys' festival, really, right? I mean, this is this is
All
your
of
baby.
ours.
Yeah, it's your baby. It's your baby. What made you guys start doing this? Like, the
This is
the
the second
People
one,
Festival.
right?
Yeah, because you guys did one in 2016. Yeah.
Saw the option, and inspired by this magical space
Mm-hmm.
and the friendships we are lucky enough to have built over the years, listening to those people,
Mm-hmm.
and then just seeing that there's just asking yourself, okay, if we would have that space, what would we do with it?
Mhm.
And then it was very clear. Would you just give it to the artists? You let them do what they want to do.
Yeah, because you guys know amazing people, yeah, and everyone loves you guys. I mean, it's amazing. Like everyone's like, oh, Tom.
We love everybody.
I know,
That's
I can
the
tell.
thing.
and speaking of this amazing space, you could probably speak to it better than anyone else. Where are we? Because it's incredible,
We
but
are-
so confusing.
We are at the Funkhaus in Berlin, like 20-minute bike ride from our hotel.
The Michelberger Hotel, right?
Yes, and it's a former East German radio station,
So this was a radio station.
like full on, and the Saals and the studios where we are in, they were specifically built for recording.
Oh,
Big,
wow.
huge orchestras
For the radio.
for the radio.
Live
Yes,
radio.
Yes.
It was probably a mix of like spying and broadcasting at the same time.
exactly.
Because I've never, I don't know that I've seen many buildings in my life this big in general.
I think it's really unique.
let alone
literally
like
in the world.
the different spaces, and you walk into a room and all of a sudden you're in like a cathedral recording studio. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the biggest of its kind by like far. I mean, fitting 1,000 people, and a jumbo jet could fly over it. You wouldn't hear
Because
it
it's
because
room in room built.
it's
therefore
like
you
really
don't
hanging.
feel-
The whole space is hanging.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, I've taken a bunch of walks trying to get lost, and it's really easy actually.
There are a few staircases that lead to nowhere in like a hedge maze kind of tradition, and I went, "Oh, we picked the wrong path. We got to go back."
Yeah. We go up the stairs and just
Yeah,
three
you
doors
need
and,
to imagine
none
that
open.
5,000 people were working here every day. They had like a village here, like a sauna, hairdressers, like literally everybody.
It was a
coming
full
here.
For
community.
one radio station.
No, it's the whole broadcast radio. There were
It was
different
like
channels.
everything
Every
East
German
did,
radio station.
the East Germany, everything East Germany did that had to do with media and like recordings and like studios and broadcasting was like centered here, and it was like a really sealed off, like high security kind of complex.
And did you meet the Gerhard Steinke, the architect, the 91-year-old gentleman?
No, I
That's
have
who they
not.
were filming yesterday.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that. He was the architect of the building.
He's the architect of this building, and for him, a dream became true again to see
People
in a
here,
different way.
Back
Yeah,
alive, yeah.
and happy and just everyone being
yeah,
positive.
taking
and,
these spaces as they were actually designed to.
That's so great. You brought up you also own a hotel, and did I pronounce it right? Because there's
Michelberger.
sometimes
Yeah.
Michelberger, Michelberger. What do you prefer?
Michelberger. since
Michelberger.
It's our name.
So what is the history of that space too? Because that building is also incredible and just kind of unique. How old is that building? Like,
It's built in 1905, and it's just kind of 1906. Nice one.
Yeah, I trust her.
It's in this funny like no man's land for a while in between Kreuzberg and Friedrichshain. It's just this forest stretch of like 5 houses, and to the back there was like nothing for a very long time, and we just felt like there was driving around with the bike. There was a sign up for rent 10 years ago. We called, and then it took us a year to get the money, and but that's became our new home base, and the courtyard. That's like just
Where you were in one day, showed up.
Yes, that's how. Yeah,
for the
that's where
bingo
we
last night.
Yeah.
The pub
everyone's
was
talked about the bingo so far.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's where we met in the courtyard. Yes, I was drawing a carrot. Well, because we haven't really intricate carrot too.
No, actually, where we met was like 6 years ago.
It was 8 years ago.
8 years ago, and it was like raining, and someone said there is someone sitting in the courtyard under the umbrella, and it's like with the bottle of
Prosecco at Travers.
Yeah,
We say
and
like,
like-
who's this? Who's like behaving like that?
Yeah. and then we went to the Spätzle place, and then we met.
That
so it
first
was
night,
like
you took me out to dinner with your family.
Mac,
it was so inviting.
You just randomly picked the hotel when you were in Berlin?
I'd heard about it. I did hear about it because I was friends with Raphael Hamburger, who's
sure, from France.
Michel Berger's
Son.
son.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, there's a hotel named after my father, and I'm like, all right.
we have a giant Michelberger collection at the hotel from gifts of.
Oh, I'm
people.
sure. Oh yeah, all the French people that come back.
That's so funny. Cause I'm sure a lot of French people stay here because they think it's a Michelberger themed hotel.
No,
and that he owns it or something.
And actually, one of the amenities we should mention of the hotel is the Big Lebowski's on a 24-hour loop. Constantly.
Why the Big Lebowski? Is it your favorite movie ever made?
What's the movie I watched the most, possibly?
Well, obviously now.
We should also
Like
say
every
no
game.
sound though. It's just on a loop. And
It's just on a
silent
loop, yeah.
everywhere.
But you can watch it in your room at least. Yeah. And actually,
It never gets old.
It never gets old. Yeah, no, and visually, because my lady, she actually has never seen the movie. So every
Really?
time we walk by it, it's usually like the weird, crazy
The
dream
nihilist
sequence
scenes?
or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. She's like, "What is this movie?" Like,
Cut off your Johnson.
I think it's one of these things that will really, unite this like generation, because weirdly it's so joyful, and you meet people and you don't even talk about it, but it's just thinking about this film just brings up the like a really
everybody-
nice feeling.
It's glue. He brings us all together. He makes us stick together. I don't think I ever told you I was at a weird like fundraiser thing or something like that, and John Goodman was there, and Buscemi was there, and Turturro was there, and I told them about the hotel. Like, they didn't believe that there was a hotel in Berlin that played their movie over and over and over again. They thought it was the coolest thing ever.
And now they're
perfect,
going to
because-
sue you for royalties.
No, that's what I thought.
Waiting for that bill. Hopefully it's never coming.
But I love how it's an amenity. Like,
It's an art installation.
yeah, exactly.
So this festival's amazing, and you guys have been incredibly accommodating, and all anyone could talk about is the hotel and the space and the food that you guys
And
are
the
providing,
vibe
and just the energy.
It's great energy here.
But the thing that no one seems exactly sure of, and which is so exciting, is what's going to go on this weekend. Like there's
We
people.
don't know.
Nice.
We know a little more.
You know
yeah,
a
but
little more.
I don't know if you checked out during this last couple of days and opened some doors and saw
we have. It's been incredible.
see
Oh,
and
yeah.
these things are now filtered, and like the highlights will be brought into these different spaces. There's capacities from 30 people or like 10 people.
And that's what I was
to the
asking.
big
So
one.
it's kind of a floating, rotating schedule. Will people be able to kind of just wander from performance to performance?
Actually, we guide them in 2 groups through the spaces to get really the richness of the experience.
Oh, that's great.
And now it's just really, it's like that's the biggest logistical job, creative job now from the team, bringing this all into a schedule. And we are just, so blessed that we could, hear all of these things that you have heard now throughout the week.
Yeah.
And all of this, it's just unimaginable to bring that now, or a few of these like elements to stage. And now just, you receive now emails, I want to do this, let's do this. And I just can't wait to when this will all run simultaneously. All of these like 10 stages will be filled with music.
And it'll be just like a noise band and some folk music and maybe some hip hop or whatever. Like
Everything,
and everyone's working with each other too, which like everyone's really enjoying the collaborative aspect of it.
And it's kind of mind blowing.
And some people joining from the afterlife.
Well, we're gonna hope.
Like Leonard, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean? There's a ghost
Well,
coming?
Yeah.
There's a ghost coming.
We're gonna do one of those holograms.
Yeah.
Like
it's
Tupac hologram.
No, it's the Adam Cohen who's also taking part, and he's working on the album from his father Leonard Cohen.
Oh wow, cool.
And you didn't check that yet.
No,
I guess not.
And my name is Matt Cohen, so I could probably get in that room.
Yeah, very
probably
good.
related not far back.
He's up in this DBS school and has a studio there, and so he invites different people to just listen to the music, and he collected beautiful material which is not yet published.
Oh, I would love to
wow.
hear
Like
that.
poems
Yeah.
and things, and so he worked with different people from here.
Oh, that's
Like
amazing.
Richie from Arcade Fire or Leslie came, and many people, and just to see their reaction. And out of that, I only saw like most beautiful, overwhelmingly
Everyone
happy.
was just now we have to go.
Now we have to.
Yeah, because
With that kind of a
obviously this
build-up.
is something very, and they play tonight and try out stuff with the Stargaze Orchestra and the
Oh,
choir.
wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, we'll definitely be there for that.
Yeah.
Live
you
broadcast
do.
from that rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly.
If we can,
We'll bring all our material.
But
yeah.
thank you again for
Yeah,
bringing us
yeah,
over and
thanks for,
making us
having
feel
us
a
and
part
letting us
of
hang
this.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Of course
been,
you are.
Just everyone here is so impressive and talented, and we go like we're podcasters, but we hope we're making everyone happy, and
No, there is
letting the word
this
out a
is needed
little.
as an addition. Everybody plays their part in this. There's of course the music makers, but also to have someone collect all these words and all this emotion
in
all
the
this
moment
Yeah.
too,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
feelings,
Exactly.
impressions,
And there's photographers
laughing.
and filmmakers and exactly.
It's been
It's
really
what you guys,
great.
you guys,
Yeah.
you guys are making magic. It's in
You.
Yeah, me.
No,
the
you
bongo
are.
color.
Yeah. And
We were
your
given
happy
the space
dresses.
and we take
Yes,
it.
you like my dress? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I know it was very high last night. I almost wore it again today.
Thank you so much. And one day we'll have to do a Big Lebowski commentary track together.
Oops.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, half English, half German. It'll confuse everyone.
Yeah, I started with German, but now I'm better in English.
Really?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, wasn't that exciting?
Oh my God.
What an amazing first half of that week.
I'm as wet as the Spree River right now.
Wow.
Berlin
jeez.
reference.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
You didn't know, you didn't know where I was going with
I
that.
know,
And
yeah.
looked very concerned.
I was like,
halfway
where's this
through.
going, dude?
And then oddly delighted, so I'll take it. Yeah, so Tom and Nadine are super, super cool.
Yeah, and they ran a really amazing festival. I know you said before that this was the first half of a two-parter. We're gonna have another set of these similar kind of interviews next week. But yes, no, they put together a really, really special festival that was just it had just creativity oozing out of all of its pores, and it was very special to be a part of.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so plus also we got to go to Berlin.
Yeah.
We took the show on the road.
Yeah, which was really fun.
Yeah.
actually.
You know, I know it made you nervous. I know. You're Jewish.
I mean, it was hard. It was kind of hard for it not to. But I felt good. Actually, not on the podcast. We didn't talk about it during any interviews. But one morning at breakfast, I was with, because that was what was cool too. And you heard it on this show. Everyone from friggin' everywhere in the world. And I was at a table with 2 Norwegians and a Spanish lady and a few Brits. And they went, I was the only American, and they went, "Hey, is it super weird if we ask you a question?" All of them, almost as if they'd prepared to ask me before I sat down. And I was like, "Oh God, what did Mac? What did Mac do?"
Yeah, what did Mac say to them?
And they were like, "Hey, so the Americans here seem to be fixated on World War II and like Nazis. And I went, yeah. And they went, you guys are like aware that like that happened like 60 years ago. And I went, yes. Yeah. And they went, so what's the fascination? I went, I mean, it happened 60 years ago.
It's you know, it's
we're not fascinated. We're still fascinated with the Civil fucking war, and that happened. A few
exactly. Like,
give us a half a what's 1,000 years?
Well, that's you mean a millennium?
Is that a millennium?
Yeah.
Yeah, give us half a millennium. Oh, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
Why did I think that was a million? It's right there in the title, millennium. Give us a half millennium to get over the Holocaust.
Give us a little time. We're still not even over the Revolutionary War.
I said they're also our bad guys in movies.
Yeah,
which you guys don't really have as much because you were more culturally sensitive and close to it, I guess.
Oh, I mean, me?
No, Europeans.
I was going to say, I thought you said you.
Yeah,
I was like, me?
There were no Nazis in your movies, Mac,
that's true. You know, my movies when I was a kid were sorely lacking Nazis. Yeah.
Surprisingly, not a lot of Nazis up there.
It's crazy. It's weird.
So we had a great time in Berlin. We had a really great time at the fest. And we're going to be back next week with more. But until then, you can check it out. It's P-E, like spell people out, but put a hyphen between all the letters, and you'll get to their website. Yep. And they have like a cool like embedded player where you get to hear some of the music from the festival.
Yeah.
And they're going to release more of it, I think, is the plan.
Yeah, as it kind of goes along and so forth.
People Platform, I believe it's called.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's very, very special. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we got another one coming up next week.
Until then, Mac, where can people find you on the interweb?
I'm at Culkamania on the Instagrams and Credible Culk on the Twitters.
I thought you said Credible Culk.
Yeah, Incredible Culk.
Credible Culk. Yeah, he's good for it.
Yeah, Incredible Culk.
I'm at the things on Camel Toad. We're on Twitter at Bunny Ears Pod. We're on Instagram at Bunny Ears Podcast. Check us out, bunnyears.com. And we've got a voicemail. It's 845-EZE-HOAX. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah.
We might call you back. We're never going to do that.
No, but don't give us your number.
Stu might call you back.
Yeah, true.
He's lonely. And until then, I've been Matt Cohen,
and I've been Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor Culkin Thomas. This has been Bunny Ears. What do we tell them at the end of every show, Matt?
Try not to suck too much dick, and if you do, send us some pics.
Send them pics, but send them care of Berlin first. Really freak out those Germans.
Bye.
Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
Hey boys, this is Brian in Indiana. Just got done listening to your episode with Jericho, and it was fucking awesome. Can't wait for the second part. But just a point of fact for you, I was born and raised in Alaska and actually drove from Alaska to Texas through Canada. 3 days of it was through Canada. So it is possible. It's fun and possible. Anyway, suck some dick. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, Matt and Matt. Where have you been? You were supposed to be here. My kid has been waiting for you for an hour. Come on, man. You said you were going to be at this party, and I'm just waiting for you. Come on.
Hey, I'm just checking in. Firstly, I just want to say thank you, everyone involved in the podcast. You're awesome. Never thought I'd resonate so much with one person I'm very, semi-familiar with, and the other person who I've only just learned about, and you're both awesome. And Stu's pretty cool, too, I guess. I have a really hard-hitting question, though. Who the fuck remembers Discovery Zone, and why don't we have another one of these things for adults? Fuck kids. Where's Discovery Zone 2? Come on. I want to go get a bloody nose and get punched in the face by somebody with an alcohol spiked slushy, or an icy, and just have a good time. Because that's where I want to be a kid. Later, guys.
A Bunny Ears LLC production.
You are freaking lumberjack!